Hi, I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with my series entitled Blues Solos with Comping. In this series we go back and forth from lead guitar to rhythm guitar accompaniment, also known as comping. First, I'll perform Blues Solo with comping in the key of A, number 5, and then I'll break it down for you. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, today we're going to break down Blues Solo with comping in the key of A, number 5. In these exercises we go back and forth from lead guitar to rhythm guitar accompaniment, otherwise known as comping. So I've divided this 12-bar example into 3 sections, and in each section we'll go back and forth from lead guitar to rhythm guitar comping. And we'll be using 2 scales in this exercise. Let's go ahead and look at the fingering. We have an A blues scale at the 5th fret. Now note that sometimes the term blues scale and minor pentatonic get used interchangeably. The blues scale is simply the minor pentatonic with the addition of the blue note. So here is the A blues scale at the 5th fret. For those of you who know the caged system, this is the E form. So A blues scale. We'll also be using the A major pentatonic scale, also located at the 5th fret, and for those of you studying the caged system, this is also the E form. So here we go, A major pentatonic. Now that we've looked at the scales, let's go on to part 1. All right, we're going to be leading into the first part with a pickup lick, and a pickup lick starts before the measure. So we're leading into measure 1 with this pickup, and the lick sounds like this. So we're starting with a blending of both major and minor pentatonic scales. We have the minor third and major third, so I'm hammering on. Then I go to the 5th, which is in both scales, and then this 6th is from the major pentatonic. So I end the lick on a chord tone, which is the 3rd of A. Now, the 3rd is a little bit murky as far as being major or minor. That's kind of typical for the blues. The blues has both major and minor elements. So the bend here is microtonal. It's between C and C sharp. Nevertheless, I'm considering this the 3rd of our A chord, which is the 1 chord in the key of A. And for the comping, we'll be using an A6th chord. So this chord is voiced root, 3rd, 6th, and root again on top. And we'll be taking the A6th chord, moving it down 1 fret, and back. So here we go with the pickup into the comping. And then we move to our next lick in part 1. Let's continue on to the second lick of part 1. This lick is going to start on the note E, which is the 5th of our chord. And then we're going to have, it's about a 1/4 step bend at the 8th fret, and this is out of the minor pentatonic. And then the next passage is in the major pentatonic. Notice we roll the finger there. Then we go back to the minor pentatonic here with a bend, release, pull off, ending on the root. And let's put that together. This is then followed by our comping, and we're going to start with that same A6th, move it down chromatically this time, and we come out at the 3rd fret. Now you might think, well, if this is A6, this must be G6, but not really, because the bass is still playing A. So if you analyze these notes against an A we have the flat 7, the 2, which is the same as the 9, the 5, and the flatted 7 again. So effectively, this is an A ninth chord. Let's put that together. Now I'm going to put part 1 together. On to part 2. All right, I'm starting part 2 by anticipating the D chord change. This is the 4 chord in my 12-bar blues. And so I'm going to be choosing my notes based on the chord D. I'm still pretty much sticking within the A major and minor pentatonic, but I'm selecting my notes a little differently here, just keeping the D chord in mind. So I'm sliding into the note F sharp with an approach slide from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret, and the F sharp is significant here because it's the 3rd of a D chord. Then I'm going to the A note, that's the 5th of the D chord. And then I'm going to the 4th fret here, and now I'm using the note C, which is the 7th of my D7. So the full lick. Again, starting the lick on the 3rd, 5th, that's the 6th of D, flat 7 of D, 5th of D, 6th of D, 5th of D, sliding into the 3rd and ending on the root again. So really outlining D here, using my pentatonic scales. And then I go to comping for D. So instead of playing a full D ninth chord, I'm just using an abbreviated D ninth here. Just the top 3 strings, and related to D, this is the flatted 7, the 9th, and the 5th. And I'm going to just go down a half step and back like we did before. So let's put that together. After that, I go to what I would consider an idiomatic type blues or swing lick, and this lick starts on A, and I'm kind of leading back towards A at this point because I see the 1 chord coming, and I'm starting on A, and then I play chromatically from the 5th fret to the 8th fret, and then I end here on the note E. So actually I'm going chromatically all the way from C up to E, and then I go back down to an A note. That's the root. So I'm resolving to the A because I'm back at the A chord, and then I'm using my A 6th down to A 9th again. Let's put part 2 together. On to part 3. Again, in part 3, I'm using a pickup, or I'm anticipating the chord change. I'm going to start with a bend on the 2nd string at the 8th fret, and this is about a quarter bend. Now, I'm picking the note G here, and this G note is based on the fact that I'm on an E chord. So if you think about just like a generic E7 like this, the 3rd of the chord is right here under my pinky, and that note is a G sharp. So I'm bending the G natural toward that G sharp. This helps outline or anticipate the E chord change. So I'm kind of, sweetening that note a little bit, implying that I'm headed towards E or playing over an E. And then I use the note B. Again, this note is in my major pentatonic. It's also in an E chord though. There it is at the top of this bar chord. So I'm already starting to play the E chord right before I get there. And then I do another quarter-ish bend and then go to the note E. So that's the root of E. So then I I'm going to go to the comping, and at this point I'll be walking abbreviated ninth chords like we used before, down chromatically. So it's going to be E chromatically down to D. Let's put that together. And then the next lick bends in just like A minor pentatonic. So we're bending the 7th fret a whole step. So we're bending this note D to where it's an E, and then playing the fingered E on the 2nd string. So that's twice. And then we have another bend that's a whole step. And then we're playing the 5th fret C, and then ending on the root A. So, and then we have an A6th chord. And this time we're going to use the full versions of this is an F9 and an E9. So. Let's put that last part together. Now for the last chord. The last chord is a bit challenging. There are other options for you if you would like to end on a different chord, but this is the one I wanted to show you. This is an A9th chord, and I love this voicing. The first time I ever heard it was Freddie King's Hideaway, but it's a common chord. It's just a little bit more of a pretzel than a typical A9th chord. You're going to start with your pinky on the high root A, and then your index is going to be on the 3rd here, C sharp. And then we have our middle finger on B right there at the 4th fret. And then my ring finger is going to be on G. And here is the chord. That's A9. And you could put the low open A in there if you want. So intervals, we have the G is the flat 7. Then we have 2, 3, and root. That's my last chord. That's it for Blues Solo with Comping in the key of A number 5. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.